Hey everyone, welcome back to My Rising Rose with me, Jack Morrigan, and today I want to do something around energy clearing and maintaining our energetic integrity. And the reason I want to do that is because personally I was going through some issues this morning in my relationships, and some stuff came up around the past, especially about what was happening back during the last eclipse season, which was during February, and noticing some old energies from that time that need clearing, that just kind of resurfaced again. And so I just want to kind of do some focusing on energy clearing, because I was talking to my partner Lola, and she was saying that the current eclipse season that we're in at the moment is about kind of releasing things specifically around relationships, right? So it's exactly what was happening today was coming up, and I had completely forgot that we were in an eclipse season right now. I thought the eclipse happened last week, we're all good, we're over that now. But obviously, lots of you will know that's not how this works. There's an eclipse season, so there'll be one eclipse, and then a couple of weeks after there's another one. And that's what we're in September at the moment, which is why a lot of astrologers are pointing to September as this very kind of challenging but transformational month, because that's the kind of thing that eclipses draw out in us. And I was just moving through that, and it was quite difficult. Just kind of feeling overwhelmed a little bit by dredging this stuff up, but also feeling this kind of sense of relief, it kind of realizing that the difficult relationships of the past are over, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. And it's okay, it's being brought up again, and it's uncomfortable to look at it, but I can move through it now, and I don't have to be dragged down, honestly, by the weight of other people's shadows. That's the kind of the feeling of what this has been for me personally. Obviously, we all have shadows, and I have one as well. It would be quite crazy if I said that I didn't. And just for those of you who aren't aware, the shadow is just the suppressed aspect of our psyche. So it includes a lot of nasty aspects of ourselves that we would rather not be there and kind of want to imagine isn't there, but it is there. And generally a kind of a healthy person is somebody who is pretty in touch with that side of themselves, with the shadowy parts of themselves, and has some kind of level of awareness and integrity between their ordinary kind of conscious mind and their subconscious, often quite primal shadow self. And the people that I've been having difficulty with, in my opinion, are people who are very unintegrated between those parts, and that then led to a huge amount of projection, so them kind of projecting their shadow out onto me, and a lot of unpleasantness. So I personally am pretty glad to be free from that, and I want to bring through one of the dragons to help me to kind of strengthen my energy field around this, to release the energies of other people that have kind of become entangled into my own energy field, and also to kind of show you how to do this for yourself, and to feel it within yourself, to start to sense within yourself how to release other people's energies from your field and to be free from that. I think a huge amount of the suffering that we experience as human beings is actually because someone else's energy has become ensnared or entangled within our energy field, and we start to identify it as if it's our own, as if this is who we are. Think about times when someone has said something nasty to you, that's their energy is sort of projecting out, and it can land inside of you, and you might take it in and unconsciously start identifying with it. You know, someone says you are bad, you can start identifying with that. Oh, I am bad. And then that can become this sort of almost like an energetic imprint inside of your system that starts actually magnetizing more of that energy to you, which then you can identify with more, and it can become this real kind of doom spiral into negative identifications. But a lot of that stuff isn't true, and we aren't anywhere near as bad as we like to tell ourselves, you know, and I include myself in that. I'll have times where I just go into these spirals and I start telling myself that I'm bad for whatever reason. And that was coming up today, but I then connected with the Morrigan, and she was helping me to see that actually I'm not bad, and the experiences that I went through were more about other people putting their energies into me than about me, myself. So learning to release that is really important. Obviously, another aspect of spiritual maturation is the acknowledgement of the times where we are the ones who are causing the harm, where our own shadow is the one that's projecting out onto other people and causing the harm. But today, I want to focus more on when other people are doing it to us, because I feel that that is a less talked about thing, and that most people that I come across in the spiritual kind of world are more likely to take in other people's negative energy than to put it out. And we're the ones who really need to learn how to clear other people's energies from our system. So, with all that, I'm going to channel one of the dragons, I assume the black dragon, who's going to help with this now. Kia Nalayun. Iane. Kia Nolu. Ishturu. Tishtanayu. Just bear with me while I'm tuning myself in. Just taking a moment. The sensitive among you will already be able to feel my energies coming through. I am Gorkor Earth. Gorkor Earth. Jack can't quite roll his R's enough to say my name. Gorkor Earth, Black Dragon of the Rising Rose, part of the underworld of the cosmos. The underworld of the cosmos. Everything has an underworld to it. The unseen, unconscious dimension of it. Humans have it. Animals have it. Plants have it. Rocks have it. I know that might sound strange, but it's true. Everything has an underworld dimension to itself. Everything is psyche. Everything is the mind. And I'm a part of the cosmic underworld. So the whole cosmos having its own underworld version of itself, its own hidden dimension. And that place, you might think, well, if it's sort of hidden in underworld, maybe it's somehow less alive than the regular, more conscious place. But that isn't true. The underworld is deeply alive, just like the soil in the earth is deeply alive. It's just that its life is different to what you often think of as life. Life is much bigger than the human conceptualization of life. But that's just a little introduction to my energies, and of course, what I say is not the most important thing here, but rather the energy that's coming through, so be aware of it. You may well feel it in the lower part of your body. May be a pulsing sensation, tingling sensation, sense of heaviness or being drawn down into the earth. These are very common when meeting my energies. But you may feel other things too in different parts of your body. Just be gently aware of that. Just casually. Like, oh, that's interesting. There is something kind of unusual, or my body is responding in the ways that Gorkhoreth is saying. And that's a sign there for you. Oh wait, there's something to this. There's something to this. Now, as a deity, which is what I am, so like a kind of godlike being, which doesn't mean something as grandiose as you might think. You know, the universe is a big place, much bigger than humans can ever understand. And of course, humanity is not the most evolved form of life in the entirety of the cosmos. And I don't laugh in a mocking way. I just laugh because it's so improbable that humanity would be the most evolved form of life, just given what you know about the scale of the universe. And what you know about the scale of the universe, meaning you're a scientist, is expanding all the time. You know, so the universe that you know is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, which is making it more and more obvious that humanity is not going to be the most evolved form of life within the multiverse. You know, of course not. So I'm just one of those beings that's in a more evolved stage, just a bigger stage, bigger consciousness. You know, just like if you were looking at a cat is obviously a conscious being, it is alive, but it's not as evolved in consciousness as a human being. That's not disrespectful to cats, it's just a reality of the situation. And the same is true when you go up the scale beyond humanity. There are many, 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 many forms of life that are more evolved than human beings. And I'm one of those. And within the normal way that human beings kind of rank forms of life, or at least historically, not so much anymore, gods and goddesses, deities, are considered higher than humans. So I'm one of those. And I'm one of those for the underworld. What does that mean? Well, it means that my job within the cosmos is to kind of manage and maintain the health of the underworld. How do I do that? Well, one of the ways is by being here with you right now. By helping you to become more healthy within the underworld of yourself, I aid, through you, the healing or the rising of consciousness of the underworld of the cosmos itself. Because each of you are a part of the cosmos, and your underworld is a part of the cosmic underworld. I hope this is all making sense, and I'm not going too verbose with all of this. Just give me a second, I just need to connect with Jack briefly. So what are we going to do today? Well, one of the things I like about working with Jack is that he tends to be someone who is leading by example. So he is having these experiences that he described to you earlier, challenges in relationships, past relationships really, but there's still some energetic entanglements there that need a bit of clearing. And obviously, for many of you listening, you'll be able to relate. There will be times where you have had challenging relationships with people and you're no longer in contact with those people, but something kind of lingers. Something remains. And your kind of disconnection from those people hasn't quite cleared all of the nastiness that was present between the two of you, or more than, whoever it was. It hasn't quite been cleared, and there's a kind of bitter taste that remains. You know what I'm talking about. It might be that that person's name is mentioned and your gut tightens up. It's just like, oh, it doesn't feel good. Something's not quite finished, or not quite right, or not being processed fully. And that's what I'm focusing on today. And I'm doing that energetically. Right? So it's just about, what we're doing today is allowing your body to connect with my body, my cosmic body, so that some of that stuck bitterness has a place to go. Right? Because the energies that get created in a difficult relationship become stored in your body, become stuck. Now, many places it can get stuck, really just about anywhere, even as detailed as your little finger, there could be something stuck. But in general, where Jack's feeling it most at the moment is gut and solar plexus, some sacral. But each of you will have your place that is a kind of focal point, maybe for all of your difficult relationships, or maybe just for specific relationships. Of course, many of you will feel it in your hearts. Some of you will be feeling that right now. Might be a kind of tightness, a bit of a pain, and uneasy feeling, right? And I don't want to be this kind of bringer of unpleasantness. So I'm not just mentioning this just so that you feel unpleasant right now by bringing your mind to these memories. Rather, I'm inviting a resolution. Inviting a resolution, which makes you feel better in the long run. Sometimes we have to go through difficult times, unpleasantness, to get to something better. It's a little bit like if you, you need to clean the toilet, as an example. It's like, oh, I don't really want to do that, but I need to. It's not a pleasant thing. I'm not thinking, oh, how wonderful this is. It's not like a beautiful sunrise, but it's necessary. It's necessary, and you'll be glad that you've done it. It's much like that. That's the kind of, unfortunately, the energy of the work that I need to do in this world. This is the underworld work. It's often rolling up your sleeves and putting your hands in the dirt, because it needs to happen. There's things that need to get unblocked and cleared. I'm basically a cosmic plumber. Basically a cosmic plumber. And sometimes getting down in those drains can be a bit mucky. And for today, you might be feeling a bit of that too. Might be feeling a bit unpleasant. Might be feeling a bit yucky. But it's okay. See if you can notice. See if you can feel my energy around you, holding you. It might be all over. It might be focused in the lower part of your body, especially kind of into your legs, your hips, your feet, into the earth. See if you can notice that there's almost a kind of aura of living energy around you right now that has a peaceful, calm, supportive quality to it. Just take a moment now. I'm going to be quiet. Just see if you can feel that. So what can happen as you start to feel that is almost like an energetic osmosis. So that all that is like the energy is kind of condensed in your body and it wants to move. It wants to flow out. But generally the human body and mind is arranged in such a way that it's quite difficult for that energy to find its way out. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a living space around you, which is kind of something that the energy can dissolve in. It's like it just needs something to dissolve in. And that in this instance right now, that's me. And that might seem like a strange thing. It's like, hang on. Aren't I supposed to be the one holding this? Isn't this mine? Well, in a way, but in a way it isn't. It's also not yours. You're holding on to somebody else's energy that entered your body through your relationship with that person. So it's not actually yours. It's almost like you've borrowed it without even realizing. And you've borrowed it from this person, but you've also borrowed it from the universe itself. Everything that you take into your body and everything you give out is the universe. You can't escape that. You can't be anywhere that the universe isn't. The universe is always with you. The universe is everything that you interact with. It is your body. It is the body of the people you've been in relationships with, and it even is the emotions that you feel in your body and the emotions that other people feel. So any emotion that they have kind of put into you, it's the universe being put into you as the universe. And now it's time to to give it back. And I'm here as an agent of that return. Give it to me, and I'll take it where it needs to go. That's my job. I am an agent of karmic balancing. So when the energy is given into you and you give it to me, I put it where it needs to go. You know those old telephone operators? The switchboard operators? People would call them up and say, I want to talk to blah, 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 and then they would kind of change the wires. I'm a bit like that. You know, you call me up and you say, I've got this energy, I don't know if it's mine, and then I kind of take it from you and slot it into the right places. Put it back where it's supposed to be. That's my job. I hope some of you can feel that now, that I'm offering an invitation to take away the old burdens from previous relationship. The relationship may have ended some time ago, but maybe there's just an old burden that lingers. So if you want, you can give that to me and I'll take that away. I'm doing that within Jack's body right now, from the relationships that he was talking about. Some of which ended during the previous eclipse season, but there's some heaviness that remains in his body, specifically in his gut and solar plexus. And as I work with him, what he feels is almost like liquid light entering those spaces. If like gold was a liquid, and it's kind of cooling and peaceful. It's almost like a cool breeze blowing through these contracted areas. Maybe you're feeling something similar. Maybe you're feeling something different. Whatever it is, be curious and see how it feels for you. This is one of those videos that I recommend coming back to, and to tune into my energy as you feel it. And let yourself keep soaking in it. And the more you do that, the more you'll clear out these blocked areas, the burdens of the bitterness from old relationships. It's especially useful at this time because the eclipse is coming up this weekend, so that you're in a period where you're likely to experience an intensification of the return of these difficult emotions connected to past relationships. So returning to this can be a good way to kind of buffer or protect yourself from the unnecessary harshness of the eclipse. The eclipse is here to help reveal what's hidden beneath. But if you've already consciously gone in there to do a bit of clearing before the eclipse really lands, there won't be so much turbulence for you. You might notice that people around you are being hit by a bit harder, and that's because you took some time to prepare yourself. It's just like if there was a hurricane, you prepare yourself, and then the effects of it are going to be far less on you. It's the same here. And you'll look around and you'll see the people who haven't done any of that preparatory work, and they'll look like they're in more chaos than you, because you took the time to go within, honor what's there, and to form a connection with a being who can help you. I'm here to help. So, return to this. Give yourself some time to soak in it. Of course, this is useful outside of the eclipse season too. If you're watching this in what now is the future, in weeks, months, years from now, you can still make use of this. Clearing out these old energies is a really good practice. So, I hope you enjoy. Take your time. Give yourself breaks too if you need them. Don't feel like you have to force yourself into this. Just gently, as and when you need. Enjoy it as much as you can. Jack's body feels quite a nice sense of relief now, so that's something to enjoy. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. So enjoy, and Jack will channel me again soon, I'm sure. But for now, bye-bye.